Hello again, welcome to Underwater Lights. It is Thanksgiving week in November and we're here in our Fort Lauderdale, Florida office, and we're going to be just running through a couple of products for you on our product line. This is actually the first video in a long line of videos where we will be describing our products and how they can work for your boat. We're going to focus and start right here on the QT100, at the moment our most popular underwater light. We're going to go through the product very quickly, the different configurations you can buy it in, how to install, how it comes apart, and really how it can be used on your boat. And we'll do this with all of our products, but right now, this week, we're going to start right here with this one. As I just mentioned, we're going to be doing other product videos. They will follow on in weeks coming. So right here is the QT100. Like I said, this is becoming our most popular product because it is the smallest but most powerful underwater light that you can probably get on the market right now. It comes in a couple of configurations. There is the single color white or blue, and also the full color change model here, which is called an RGBW. For those of you that don't know, that means red, green, blue and white. So with the red, green, blue, you can mix those three colors together to make every color in the spectrum, but with the white, it adds a little bit more power and you can get some paler Pantone colors. And from what I talked to the fisherman with, green with a little bit of white to make it slightly paler is absolutely fantastic for certain types of fishing. Again, depends who you ask. Will tell you different colours work for different things. So let's just have a look real quick at the light itself. As I just mentioned, it's one of the most powerful lights, but one of the most smallest as well. At 2 3/4 inch hole cutout and at 10,000 lumen output, this is averaging around an inch smaller diameter than our nearest competitor, and amazingly around $1,000 cheaper than our competitor. For single color white, this retails for $15.95. Most of our competitors for this kind of output starts around $2,500 and goes right the way up to $3,000 for this kind of output. So for single color white, the light unit is pretty much this. There is no driver, it is all internal to the light, plug and play fitting. You'll get 6 foot of cable on this once you install, and that goes straight into your 12 or 24 volts. To disassemble, you basically remove the air bleed screw, which is an acetal screw so it doesn't suffer any rust, so it doesn't stick in there. Then you can remove the back seal, and the light should then slide out from its insert. So that is the entire light fixture with a very, very high power LED on the front. Now the LED on this it generates all the power, of course, but as you can see on our front, we're one of the only companies that uses what's called a convex lens configuration. What this does is it doesn't really just magnify the light output, it spreads it. So we have one of the widest beam patterns, and as you can see, this is indented very slightly because the beam is so wide. This needs to be scalloped slightly just so you can throw as much light as you can from the sides. That gives our lights not only the brightest output but the widest output. So you can use fewer of our lights on the back of your boat than our competitors but maintain the same kind of effect. Therefore, not only are we going to save you money in the actual cost of the units, we're going to save you money because you don't need to buy as many, which again is fantastic. And as you can see, the engineering on this is absolutely spot on. If you come in closer, you'll be able to hear when it slides back in. Oh, that's beautiful. So then you just screw the fixture back into place. One thing I should mention as well, and this is true of every component on your boat, Underwater Lights has a fantastic warranty period. I mean, we have so few failures, but the only problems that you can encounter is because you won't have many failures, you will have no need to look at your lights. I'd recommend at least every 12 months coming down, disassembling the light, reapplying the grease to all the seals and screwing back up. It's a bit of a thing to do. I'd say save it for Christmas morning, gets you out of the house, but it's something you absolutely must do because after 5 or 8 years, when your light needs service, you're probably going to find it's frozen solid into its housing. So just giving it a love once a year, it'll take 5 or 10 minutes per light, is really, really worthwhile. But that just shows a testament to the actual product itself, that we have so few problems that when we actually do have to service the light, it becomes a little bit of a challenge. So just make sure you get in there and just grease those seals. Interestingly enough, Underwater Lights, and this is true of all of our products, maintains exactly the same housings regardless of what's in there. So for instance, one of the same as our 55 watt xenon products, for instance. So this light housing will never change. We will just change the inserts as we get better and better LEDs. So if you maintain your fixture, in 5 or 10 years time, if it's still working but you want to upgrade, you'll be able to unscrew this, pull out the insert again and slide in a brand new insert. In 5 or 10 years time, with the rate of LED increases and how good they're getting nowadays, this won't be 10,000, this will be 30,000. But you won't have to pull the boat out to change the housing. So again, this is the QT100, and that is the single color white. When you go to the color change, which is this one here, which has the RGBW fixture, and you can see the slightly different LED configuration inside, this actually does have an external driver, and you do need a controller to actually go with this. We recommend something called the Nicolaudi stick controllers. Stick controllers come in a variety of sizes, from the small to the large. What we have set up here, and it's actually in the cupboard here, is a stick controller called the KE1, and this basically allows us to control the light with an iPhone, or it's right here. Actually, no, this isn't the KE1, this is called the DE3, my apologies. It's actually the step above the KE1. So again, you have the color wheel here that you can select your individual colors, and also there's an Ethernet cable that connects to the back, which goes into the router that you have on the boat, and that will allow you to change colors with your iPhone or your iPad or your Droid device if you have one that doesn't catch fire. So again, this is a very, very cool unit. It all comes pre-programmed, so you'll be able to select the color scenes for fishing. You can do strobing effects. You can do, if you had more than 4 lights on a boat, you could set each one individually, so each light could be doing something different at the same time. It looks a bit garish sometimes when you do that, but it just shows the level of customization you can go to with our products on your boat. Pricing for these, again, I mentioned this was $15.95 for single color. Color change here is $19.95 for a single unit, which includes the driver. You do need to add the controller on top of that, and controller prices run in the $800 range to the $2,000 range that you saw down here. Again, with comparable to our competitors on this is a very bright output light. We're still around about $1,000 cheaper than our nearest competitor for this kind of power output for this light. So again, with the wide angle lens, the cheaper price, we're saving you money on the lights, and also you'll be able to use fewer of them with the wide spread. I am Zack Savage. Please tune in next week where we will be reviewing the QT80.